Hey, what's going on? So I'm sure you're all aware now. Eddie Hall's damaged his biceps, tendons come away. His bicep tendon got torn off. Bit of bad news, really. We were all looking forward to the fight in September. It was only around the corner. Couldn't wait for it. So a little bit disappointing for us as fans, and obviously for both Thor and Eddie. I'm sure they're very typically disappointed as well. But it can't be helped. It is what it is. So I just want to talk about today, how I think that bicep was torn, and how it will affect the fight, which is now being postponed till next March 2022. Well, first off, let's start off with the punch that was thrown that caused it. So let's have a look at the clip.
Oh no! Torn my bicep. It's off.
Now in this clip you can see that he throws the punch and he hooks the body, and you can see that's where the tear occurs. That's where the tendon comes away from the bone. So now if you look at it, he comes around and his arm is fully extended like this. Now if you push your arm, fully extend your arm and push your arm against your fist there, you'll feel the pressure here. Okay, now a Dr. Sutera, I think his name is, he's done a video on it. Obviously he knows a lot more than I do, being an MD, and he explains it really well, that it's very similar in that position. The pressure that's under is where he shows a clip of a guy doing a deadlift and the tendon pops off and you can see the bicep contracting up after it's been torn. So that's how it happened. But the question I want to ask from a sort of boxing standpoint is why that hook was so extended out. It shouldn't have been. And this comes to distancing. So a hook should either come from here around, so come from here and that way, so your arm's at the right angle, or you're close in the hook and you're coming down. I've got to watch the table, I don't punch the table. So you're coming down here and hooking and using the body to hook. Bam, you're in close. Bam, like that. Or you just want to get a little bit of distance, come around the guard and hook in like this. Okay, you can use both hooks. But no, one point is a hook, the arm extended like this. So his arm is really extended, bangs like that, pushes on there and pops the bicep. So really speaking, you should never be throwing a hook at that distance. You should be, if you want to throw a hook, you can, but you need to close that gap down. So an example would be, for instance, you throw a feint right, straight right, but at the same time you step across diagonally, throw it and you step across, and then which brings you close to the person. So you feint with that, they go back to that way, you step across and then come in with the hook. Okay, so you've got to get your distancing right. You need to set that up. You can't just throw a hook. You're better off just throwing a straight right, or maybe down to the body. Don't come up with your arm straight like that. No, because you see what happened. Now, Eddie says that it possibly could have been damaged before in the strongman competitions, which obviously, he's hummed around a lot of weight, so that is very possible. But also, if he's throwing a lot of hooks like this, imagine he's a big guy putting a lot of force behind that arm, okay, and every time he's hitting that body pad with the arm extended, ding, boing, bing, boing, boing. Okay, so could it be, it's possible that, yeah, he could have had an injury from strongman days, but could it be over the last few months where he's overextending that arm that he's damaged it doing it that way? You just can't tell. Anyway, so he's had the operation, he had it done over in a day, and he's back healing now, it's all sorted. So that's a good thing. Now, how will this affect the fight? Well, the thing is, they are top strongmen, and a lot of top athletes use periodization training. Now, what periodization training is, try saying that with a mouthful of socks. What periodization training is you spread your training over a certain period of time. So you'll have a macro cycle, which is a 12-month period, for instance. And in that 12-month period, you will plan out your training cycles. So then you've got your mesocycles and your microcycles. So your mesocycles would be maybe a period of 3 or 4 weeks where you focus on one certain thing. For instance, maybe you focus on power and speed. So in that 4 weeks, you focus on sprint work, you focus on plyometric training, things like that. You know, really pushing weights out and things like that. So you're working on power and speed. And another one could be you do a week of endurance, something like that. And then microcycles are just about a week long. So they're about a week long, and you would do them maybe a few weeks out before the competition, maybe a month back or so, and you focus on maybe you do 3 long runs, so really long runs, and followed by 3 or 4 days of recovery. And that's how top athletes plan out their year. So this has upset the apple cart a bit, because they probably they set off from last September to now. They've got their 12-month period. I'm not saying this is exactly how they did it, but they would have done it along these lines, where they set at this training period, their coaches and whatever have said, right, you've got this 12-month period, this is what you're going to do in that 12 months. And when you get closer to a competition or a fight, that's when you taper down. So you reach a crescendo, you're really training like mental, and then as it comes towards the fight, you taper off. You don't want to be doing too much training a few weeks out from the competition, because you can't get any stronger and you can't get any fitter a few weeks out. I've seen people before, you know, a martial arts competition doing a 10-mile run 2 days before. No, okay, you can't get any fitter 2 days before a competition. It's not going to happen. You just keep it nice and light, a little bit of light sparring, a bit of stretching. You can't get any better or fitter within 2 or 3 days before the competition. So again, I'm waffling. But when they get to the close to the competition, they taper off a little bit. They conserve their energy ready for the fight or the competition or whatever it's going to be. So this has really upset the apple cart. And so they can recover physically. Obviously, Eddie's got a lot of healing to do. And Thor would probably need now to take a month off, I would imagine. It's because he's got another 6 months added on top of his training now. So he's got to try, and his coaches and himself will try and work out a new cycle for the next 6 months, what he's going to do. And I would imagine now's the time to back off a little bit, ease off for a month or 6 weeks, and then get back on the horse again and get training again. So physically, I think they'll both recover fine. But it also can affect you psychologically, mentally. You've got to be mentally strong to be able to, because the thing with a fight, you prepare yourself. I'm fighting in September on this day, on this date. I'm focused on that. You're preparing mentally and physically for that. And it takes a lot of thought process to prepare yourself. All of a sudden, no, you're not fighting on that date now. It's going to be another 6 months. Boom! Yeah! So psychologically, it can have a lot of effect on you. But again, these two top strength athletes, both world title holders, won a lot of competitions in strength competitions. So I think they're mentally strong. So I don't think it's really going to have that much of an effect on the fight in March. If anything, it could give them time to improve their boxing skills a little bit more. I mean, Eddie definitely needs to work on his distancing. Come on, Ed. Okay. You know, Thor's progressing nicely. So personally, I don't think it's going to have a huge effect. Just a bit disappointing for both the guys and for us fans, having to wait an extra 6 months. I'm so looking forward to it. But there we are. It is what it is. Anyway, that's what I think. Love to know your thoughts in the comment section. Please let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.
Oh no! Tore my bicep. It's off.